Welcome back to Chasing Purpose. As I said before the break, I have an absolutely amazing. Wait. I have an amazing guest here today. But before I introduce her, I want to talk about the segment that we're doing. It's called Reach Out and Touch. This segment has to do with how we interact with the world around us, with our relationships, whether platonic or romantic. Believe it or not, we have a relationship with everyone we interact with on a daily basis, right or wrong. Whether we choose to or not, the part that we can't control is the quality of that relationship that we can control. I talk too fast, guys. Please excuse me. I'm working on that. I'm a work in progress. This is what the segment is about, being purposeful about our interactions with the people around us. I know that I am big on leaving people lighter. We have to be mindful of the energies that we bring to the table, and make sure that we're always trying to leave people with a smile on their face. So our relationships, this particular segment, Reach Out and Touch, is about relationship. No man is an island. I don't care how many self-made success stories there are. If we really look back, there's always at least one person that has helped us. That's where relationships come in. For today's Reach Out and Touch segment, our topic is belonging. We all yearn to belong. That's why community is so big. That's why that saying that it takes a village to raise a child is imperative and so paramount. I think more recently we moved away from that, and I know growing up in my day that was the thing, but community and belonging, that sense of belonging is important, especially as we talk about fear, right? When we talk about fear and working through our fears, we want to do that with other persons in our community, in our tribe. So we're talking about belonging. And as a fashion lover, guys, you guys know I love fashion. As a fashion lover, I can't tell you how amazing it is to have legendary I hope you guys have a drum roll ready for me. Dominique, Romy, Jeffrey, as a legendary international fashion icon, graces my show. You know I am beyond excited. Ladies and gentlemen, sharing space and time with me on purpose, chasing purpose. She is definitely chasing her purpose. Is none other than, I'll wait for the drum roll. Okay, I'll do it myself. Thank you guys. But she's doing it with me. None other than Stacey Mckenzie. Stacey is not just the amazing figure sitting beside me. She is Canadian model, runway coach, TV personality, motivational speaker, and so much more. She's going to share that right now. Stacey?
Hi, Cynthia Shay.
Stacey?
Hi, Cynthia Shay.
Just coming there nicey. Talk to me nice.
Hi, Cynthia Shay.
Hi, Stacey.
Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, download the app, the Bridge 99 FM, so you can see how amazing Stacey looks. She is giving us all sorts of life. Stacey,
thank you. Well, blessed man, I cannot complain. I have life.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah.
My family, they all have life.
Yeah.
My loved ones, they're all healthy as well.
Yeah.
So can't complain.
Stacey, we were talking earlier about fear and pushing through fear. Let's start. There's so much that I want to talk to you about. Again, belonging is what this specific segment is about, but I want to talk to you about fear. What fears have you overcome?
What fears have I overcome? The fear of going for what it is that I want, despite what people think. Also, the fear of not feeling accepted. Like I've always had this fear of people not accepting me. And to be honest, Cynthia Shay, I'm actually still working on that.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it was before, but it used to, growing up, up until in my adulthood, it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
To, look the way I look, sound the way I sound, and, wanting people to accept me. So there was always this fear of people not accepting me, especially family.
Really?
Yes, especially family. So, there's still struggles there, but it is what it is. Like I know now that as long as I have a strong sense of self, as long as I love and own who I am, and as long as I believe in me, that's what matters.
Dominique, you were slow.
Jerry,
JB, you were slow. Do it again, please. I want to hear it again, please. That was a strong sense of self.
Yes.
We have to have a strong sense of. I think that's where it begins, right?
For sure.
It's that strong sense of self, identifying who we are, being aware of who we are, and then working through those fears. As we talk about the belongings. Before we get there, I want to talk about your accomplishments. Before we go to back to the, I really want people. I want to lay the paint the picture.
Paint the picture
for persons who do not know, and if you don't know, you must have been living on a rock, of who Stacey Mckenzie is.
Wow.
International supermodel, fashion icon.
Wow.
Who did anybody watch Fifth Element? Anybody? 551-5782. Quickly drop me a voice note. 551-5782. That was a big. When did that movie come out?
In 1997, and it came out at a time too when. I mean, can I tell the story?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I was living in Paris, and struggling as a model, not making any money, living. I'm not even gonna say where I was living at because I'm gonna save that for something that I'm working on. But I'm gonna say. Living really rough. And I got a phone call. And I got a phone call from, at the time I didn't know it was a director, in the middle of the night. And, he calls me up and he's like, is this Stacey Mckenzie? And I'm like, yes, who's this? And why are you calling me so late? Like, why you call my phone for? Like, why are you calling me?
There goes that Jamaican.
So then I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble because my man at the time, I was like, I'm going to get in trouble, okay? Like, what are you doing? Who's this? So I hung the phone on him. Yeah,
no.
I hung the phone on him. He calls back again, and he's like, Stacey, I need to speak to you. Like, and I'm like, who are you? Where I call my phone so late for? And then I'm like, why are you calling my phone so late? You're like, if you need to speak to me, call my agent or call me in the morning. I don't know who you are, right? But this is not the time. Yeah. And I hung the phone on him again. And then he calls
you're
back
bad
again.
Man.
And I hung up the phone on him again. And my agent calls me after. And my agent is like,
the agent should have called first to give you
know
the
what I'm saying? Tell me something. So then my agent calls after and he's like, Stacey, answer the phone and talk to the man. You know who that is? That's Luc Besson. So I'm like, who is Luc Besson? And I don't have a clue. I'm like, first of all, they have a man calling my phone in the middle of the night. I'm like, it's looking already suspect or whatever with my hubby, right? Right? That doesn't work like that. I can't do that. Yes. But anyways, who's this person? So then he's like, it's Luc Besson. He's a famous movie director. He's a famous director. And he wants to speak to you about something. So he's like, please answer your phone. Like, just talk to him.
Just do it.
So anyways, I ended up talking to him. Had a meeting with him the next morning, like early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I got there or whatever, and we ended up talking about volleyball.
Really?
The entire, for about an hour
Did he
and a half.
pitch to you what he wanted? Or was it, just
No, we're just like, just small talking at first. And like, and like he was like, feeling me
you out. Okay.
First he was like, is that your voice? And I'm like, is that your voice? Like,
no, I love that.
Right?
I love that.
I was like, of course it's my voice.
Yeah.
And rude. I was like, of course it's my voice. Is that your voice? That's what I said to him. And he's, we connected. Yeah. And then we started talking about like sports, and we got into volleyball. So it happens that he loves volleyball. I love volleyball. Okay. I play beach and court volleyball. Okay. Beach and court volleyball. So we're talking about having like a
playing.
Tournament.
Yes.
It's pretty much against each other.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about that, and then afterwards he got into what it is that he wanted me for. He was calling me for. So he said, I have this role for this movie, and I want to test you for the part. I'm like, test who? Excuse me. I was like, test? I'm like, me no test, me can't test. I was like, I'm sorry, I cannot test. I'm like, listen, you like me, okay? Let's just get straight.
Just cast me.
Just book me and done.
Just get to it. Just get to it.
And he's like, no, but I got to test you because everybody else had to test for the part. I had to audition for the part and I had to test you for the part. I'm like, no. Luke, we're about to play volleyball together, man.
Yes.
Like,
we're friends already. We're family. Just get me to it.
It's already a done deal. And that's how it happened. On the spot, he gave me the part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't
story.
have a clue. I didn't have a clue, Sinta.
Yeah, because you didn't test for it. You had no idea.
Listen, I walked on the set, and I didn't even know my part was with Bruce Willis. I didn't have a clue.
Another thing.
And
what was he like?
Oh,
we'll leave that there.
No. No. He was not so nice with me at first, but then he had to check himself when I checked him.
There you go. Talk about being fearless. We checked Bruce Willis, okay?
Yes, and Bruce, yes, we're still friends, all right?
And she's still friends, y'all?
No. Listen, after I checked him,
he understood himself.
He actually came at me in a different way, like, you're cool, you're pretty cool. I guess because he's not used to having people speak back to him the way he did, but that's another story. But when I got on set, I didn't know my part was with Bruce and with Chris Tucker, whom I love and adore.
Chris
right?
Tucker.
As an amazing actor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got on set and I saw the both of them, I was literally in shock. And then Lou said to me, go stand beside Bruce. I'm like, what?
Your first time out the gate.
My first time. I'm like, well, who? What?
Wow.
Yes, off the bat. And I didn't, mind you, I got my script right there.
Wow.
So I did not get a script beforehand to study.
That's amazing.
It's not, I mean, I have a couple lines, but it was right on the spot.
Yeah.
And it was insane. But
Please
it was
go watch
definitely
that
a blessing.
movie. Please, no, absolutely.
And it came at a time when, like I said, nothing was going in.
Yeah.
You know, things were like rough. I was, a struggling model, a starving artist, you would say.
Yeah.
And the most I got just put this on,
look at that.
just bring this to me.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was only supposed to say 2 words. He ended up giving me like 3 lines.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to Cannes with all of them. They chose me as one of the They chose me as one of the new actors that came in and made her mark. And
there you go.
They took me to all the premieres.
Look here, we are chasing our purpose. Stacey certainly is on that journey. She has so much to share with us. But when we come back, more with Stacey Mckenzie. Welcome back, the absolute blessings. Welcome back to Chasing Purpose. We are joined by the amazing Stacey Mckenzie, who is sharing some. Looking at she's writing a book, and it's going to be a part of our book club. So again, purposeiswithin.com. Please register for our book club.
Oh my gosh, you're something else, isn't she?
Stacey, we're talking about belonging.
Yes.
Did you ever feel like you were othered or like you didn't belong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like I didn't belong, like from growing up, from like being born, pretty much, because of how I look and how I sound. And I was always being told that I was always being made fun of because of that. So growing up was really tough.
How does a child work through something like that, especially as it pertains to family? Because there are children out there right now who are being scolded for just the way they look.
Yeah.
How did you work through that?
It took me many years, and I'm still working on it. But it took me many years. As a child, going through that was really tough. But what kept me through was my mom always told me to never let people see me sweat, pretty much. Like, even when I'm going through bad times, don't ever show it, right? But one thing I did learn from that too as well is, even although I shouldn't show it, I should still speak about it, because I used to hold it in a lot. I used to cry myself to sleep. I used to cry myself all the time, cry a lot. And it was like, no, I need to like speak about this. I need to like put that out there and like let that energy go.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Let that energy go.
So I started speaking about it. I became very defensive, actually. So I started more so defending myself by being like, well, if you think I'm ugly, well, me not ugly, me pretty. Or, like they used to call me some crazy names like Dundus, Mongoose, Yellow Man Data, all of them things there. So I used to be like, yeah, and Yellow Man rich, and Yellow Man Data pretty. Like I would come back with them things or whatever, and that kind of sort of helped me.
Wow.
But what really helped me the most was, praying to the Most High God and, asking Him for giving me the strength and the courage and the love for me to like really love myself. I really need to start loving me, really accepting me, accepting how I look, accepting how I sound, accepting this vessel that He has created and He's given me to work with. It took me a while, but it went to that.
Look where you are now, though.
It went to that, but it was tough times, though.
Tough.
Yeah,
choice
of course,
words for those persons, because look here now, Stacey. When you talk about having those issues growing up, right? Those things traveled with you through adolescence and your adulthood. Let's talk about your modeling career. How did you feel? First, was modeling your first love? Did you feel like this was going to be your purpose? Was it your passion? How did modeling happen?
No, my first love was, I wanted to be a doctor, actually.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah, I wanted to save lives.
Yeah. But she is. I will tell you guys a little bit later how she is.
I wanted to save lives. That was definitely I thought that was my purpose.
Yeah.
Well, yes, growing up.
Tied up into it, yeah?
Yes. And so I always wanted to be a doctor, and then I had this really bad accident on the monkey bars at school one day. And I ended up like seeing a lot of blood. And I was just like, oh no,
Yeah.
this is not for me. I can't save myself. I can't save nobody. Okay, this is not happening. I'm like, I can't stand the sight of blood. I don't want to see nothing. I literally saw I saw blood ricochet, and I literally fell right back.
Oh wow.
Right? I was like, So the doctor thing was out of the question.
Yeah.
I didn't have any interest in teaching. Interestingly enough, I didn't have any interest in teaching. I didn't have any, the typical like what your parents want you to do, especially
Lawyer,
Jamaican
doctor,
parents,
nurse,
lawyer, doctor, nurse, policewoman or whatever,
teacher,
right?
Teacher.
All right. So I wasn't sure, and then my sister came to visit, and she brought an In-Flight magazine, and in the magazine there was a picture of Gautier and Madonna in the magazine, and I thought that I kind of had a similar look to them because they had like the blonde hair, well, their skin is more pale, but my skin is light, so I'm like, who are these people? And that's when I found out about the world of fashion.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So my sister read the article to me and thing, and I was like, oh, so this woman a model for this man, because she was going to be doing a show. Madonna, she was going to be modeling for him in the show. So I'm like, muggle? So I'm like, but muggling is not a career.
Which
right?
is a big misconception.
Big misconception. So, but then also back then in Jamaica, like it didn't exist like that as well, right?
Not
really.
As prominent as it is today. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, not then. And so my sister was like, well, yeah, she's muggling. She's a muggle for him. So I'm like, it's muggle. So, what do you need to do to be a muggle, right? So she was like, well, you have to look good in your clothes. So I'm like, well, me look good in my school clothes and my church clothes, right? So she was like, okay, all righty, right?
There was that confidence, though.
And then she was like, you have to be able to, I guess, command attention. So I'm like this. Everywhere me go, people always stare upon me. Them always make fun of me still, but them still look upon me, right? I was going.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I have to be able to show off the clothes. I'm like, me can't show off my clothes.
And the seed was planted right then and there.
And from there, it was like it clicked. And it was like, you know what? This is what I should be. This is what I should do. So from there, I started like training myself. So I trained myself. I taught myself how to pose by looking in dresser mirrors. Like I would sit in front of my dresser mirror and I would emulate different facial expressions and different body language, like like different things, right?
Yeah.
Different facial expressions and different feelings. And then how I taught myself how to walk was I would take my mom's shoes or wedges. She didn't have no high heel, but that was a high heel, and I would bring it to school, and I would change into her shoes, and that's how I taught myself how to walk in heels. And I used to get beat every time a teacher would catch me. Someone go to principal office, I get beat, but I still never I would still come to school the next day with the shoes. Put on the shoes and walk up
because
down the class.
You wanted to do.
And I was like, I'm going to be a muggle, Everybody was laughing at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that right? You can't stay there. I'm going to be a muggle, watch.
Wow.
Right. And this went on up until I got to Canada. Wow. And at some point we moved to Canada.
So in Canada, is it you just kind of, did you go to modeling agencies, or did somebody just see you and say, nope, we want her?
No. I thought it was going to be better in Canada in terms of, because there's like more there's white people there. And I'm like, okay, if there's anything I could kind of sort of fit in.
Okay.
And that's where it goes to, again, belonging.
Yes.
That sense of belonging again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was trying to find that place and that, that group to fit in with, right? Because I'm a black woman, I'm a black girl. I consider myself black, but because I didn't have the complexion and I didn't have the hair color and, the feature, some of the features, but not all the features. And I was being told that I wasn't black and, I wasn't a black girl. I was trying to find that sense of belonging again. So when I got to Canada, I thought it was going to be easy, and it was not the case. No. It was worse in Canada.
Really?
What? I used to get like made fun of like left, right, and center. How old are we now at this point? I got to Canada when I was 12, 13.
Okay.
And
around that
from
time.
I got there, And when I got there and going to school, I ended up having two friends, thank God, my friend Chris and Judy, friends to this day. Chris, and every day going to school and just being bullied. I hate that word, but
but it's a reality.
But it's a word.
It's a reality.
And and then I found what was good about going to Canada, being in Canada, I was able to pursue my dreams as a model more because there was opportunities there
There.
for that, right? And elsewhere outside, like nearby to Canada as well. So what I did was I would make a list of all the agencies, and I started doing that from I was like 13, 14. I started cold calling all the agencies, and I would pretend to be an agent calling on behalf of myself.
Wow.
Right?
Talk about being fearless, guys.
And I would go see all the agencies, and the agencies, Sintashe, they were terrible.
Really?
What? I would walk up in there and they'd be like this. What is that?
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're gangster with it. They are not afraid, not all of them. But quite a few of them, a lot of them, they are not afraid to look at these. They don't have no shame to look at these young girls and boys and say, ugh,
Wow.
you're ugly. Like, what is this? No. They didn't say that in Canada about me being ugly, but they were like, what are you? No. This you need to find something else to do because this is not for you.
And I'm
they
happy
said
that
it in a nice
we're just
way.
kind of. I'm so happy that you are here and saying these things because it's important that our people out there know what's happening, what the realities are when you're looking to go into modeling or to acting. It's not an easy road at all for persons that are trying to do this, right? So and when we're talking about belonging and wanting to be a part of, the rejection is there, right? So when
big time.
so when you're getting rejected, where what do you tap into? What do you hold on to say, you know what, I have to keep going because this is the purpose, this is the passion, this is the dream.
I go back to that feeling that I had from my first found out about fashion. Like I felt that this is where I belong. And,
Wow.
since I've always been praying, to the Most High, like, and begging him to help me,
Yeah.
to like make it
Along this
happen.
journey, yeah.
It was happening. So I was already seeing that and I was like, yeah, no, man.
You're gonna
I
get
just need
there.
I just need to keep going.
Yeah.
There's something here, right? I feel it within me, and the Most High God is showing me as well because it was out of the blue too that we ended up going to Canada, right? And I actually didn't want to go to Canada.
Okay.
Right? I did not want to leave my Jamaica.
Yeah.
I love my country. I love my people.
I love
Despite
it
like the ups and downs I was going through as a young girl, and looking the way I look or whatever and being made fun of. Despite all of that, nothing could ever compare to how
You felt at
much
home.
I love
yeah,
my
what that
people, and I
feeling
love
is.
being at home, and I love being around my people. I love my food. I love my culture. So I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go to Canada.
Wow.
So when I got to Canada, and then I was getting a lot of attention again, and I was like, all right, okay, it just felt right. I've still felt it within me that I need to pursue this more and just go with it all the way and see where it'll take me, because the Most High was opening certain doors for me to like go, right?
He was.
So I cold called all the agencies. I went to see all the agencies. They were all like, no. I went back again. Every week I would go back. They were all like, no. And then they would say things to me like, oh, if only you had like straight hair. Oh, if only you didn't have freckles. If only your lips were smaller, because your lips are quite big, and you have like oh yeah, your lips are very big, and you have freckles, and freckles doesn't work. It's not now and doesn't work and all of that. Since the shade, I went home, chopped my hair off, permed my hair. Not to say that anything is wrong with perming, but I don't like perm. I'm a natural girl. I love my natural afro hair. I love a twist splat cane row, right? But I chopped my hair off and permed it, straightened it. And I had like, the Tony Braxton haircut.
Yeah,
That's
the
exactly
pixie cut.
the pixie cut. Actually the bob version.
The bob, the bold
little,
one. Yeah,
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
bob one. I did that. Got like foundation. I used to not wear makeup at all, and try to hide my freckles. Took lip liner and try to minimize my lip.
lips.
Yes. So I foundation my lips and then drew in a whole new lip, looking like an idiot. Literally.
So this is where society comes in and puts their ideas of what we should look like.
Yes, but then the thing is, also too, it's also me trying to belong.
To belong.
Right, and
In a not so good way, yeah.
And in a not a good way. But at the time too, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
when you look back.
Like that's what Memphis. I literally look like an idiot because I look ridiculous. I drew in a whole new lip. I went back to see all those agencies.
Wow.
This time around, enough of them was laughing. Like, what is she doing?
Wow.
You're the same girl that keeps coming back here, and we're still not interested, right? And with that, it was like it clicked for me right there, and I was like, yeah, I'm the same girl.
Yeah.
No matter how much I try to belong and try to fit in, I'm still that same girl that they see with the blonde hair, the freckles, the big lips, the deep voice, right? The quirky look, whatever, right?
So you own
I'm still
that.
that same girl. So I started owning
Own
me.
that.
I started owning how I look.
Yes.
I still didn't fully feel 100%,
Inside,
you know, the best about how I look, but I started owning how I look. And with that, I went on my journey with even more fierceness.
Yes.
And more fearlessness.
Fearlessness, yes.
Right?
Both of them, fierceness and fearlessness. Have you seen this girl walk? Okay.
And all the agencies said no. I tried for 5 years to get an agency.
5 years.
5 years. Usually
Wow.
it takes a week for a model to get signed. It took me 5 years.
But God knew he was playing. He
And
was
I went-
preparing you.
I went to New York. Actually, I got signed. I got signed when I was 17, 16. But then I left. So I took myself to New York, save up my lunch money, went to New York, went to see all the agencies, did what I did in Canada, cold call. They all said no, and then went back again. And when I went back again, Elite. There was a lady that wasn't there before that was there this time around that said, I love your look. You know, like, you're very different. I'm going to try to get you in. She got me a 3-month trial with Elite. I was there for a very short time, maybe not even a month and a half, until I realized that I'm too young to be alone out there in this world.
Yeah.
Unsupervised, no parent, no nothing.
Yeah. How old are you at this time?
I was going on 17.
Okay, yeah.
So then I left. I actually left Elite, went back to Canada because I dropped out of school to pursue it too. Because
Wow.
Elite was like, pack your bags,
And let's
come
go.
to New York.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just went back home. I went back home. I was like, I'm too young for this.
Yeah.
Because there were some things that I was seeing
That
with the
wasn't-
other girls that was living in the house with me. And I'm like, nah.
Well, that's good that you identified that too.
Yeah.
Because you could have just kind of went down whatever
Oh,
road they were going.
I could have went with it. I could have went with it and went a whole other different path.
Yeah.
Right. And took
Wow.
the fast route.
Yes.
Fast
But
routes.
no, let me tell you something. I strongly believe that God already has things ordained and lined out. The plan is already lined out and set.
Yeah.
So that 5 years, he was preparing you.
Yeah.
He was preparing
really
to
was.
be on the amazing career that you have.
really was.
And that you're still on. He was preparing you for that.
All
All right.
praises to him. He was.
I want to talk about the Stacey today. I know you gave us a brief synopsis. By the way, guys, she actually sat next to or around Michael Jackson. That's a whole. She's coming out with a book, guys. Again, I'm telling you, she's writing. She's penning. She's penning.
She's putting it out there.
Yeah, I am. I'm
didn't know
planting the
this.
seed.
I'm planting the
I'm
seed.
planting the seed. That's because I'm hearing off air. Whoo, child, when you guys read it. Do we have to talk? Do we have to jump to a commercial break? Are we good? We're good. Jump. All right. Let me jump to a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're gonna talk about what Stacey's doing now, how she's belonging now, and showing girls how to belong as well. Yeah. More with Chasing Purpose right after these messages.
The Bridge 99 FM.
Welcome back to Chasing Purpose. I hope you are enjoying our conversation with supermodel. I mean, she's just a beauty. Motivational speaker. We were sharing off air that that when she hears that word supermodel, that it kind of is just like, who are they talking about? But you
and beauty and beautiful.
We're talking about you. Miss Stacey Mckenzie, welcome. Welcome back to the show, guys. I hope you are enjoying it. Let's breathe it out. 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 We are live here on Chasing Purpose on the Bridge 99 FM. Give Stacey a call, 551-5782, 551-5782. Let's talk to her, guys. She has some really, oh my God, the stories, I can't even tell you. But I want to, before you leave us, Stacey, I want to talk about what you did this summer.
Oh, my camp.
Yes,
my girls' camp.
As we're talking about sowing seeds and that dream that you had of kind of saving lives or helping people, I'm not sure if you even realize what you're doing with this camp. Tell us about this.
So my camp is called The Walk, and how that came about, Sintashe, was I would go back to my old neighborhoods. I come from a certain neighborhood from here in Jamaica to Canada. I lived in certain what they would call ghetto and all of that, right? And I would usually go back to my neighborhoods, and I would speak to the youths of them there. And on a particular trip there, one of the youths came up to me and they're like, you're the only one that ever comes back. So I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, little boy. And he's like, you're the only one that ever comes back and sees us and look for us and come look for us and check for us. So I'm like, really? And then he mentioned a couple of people that comes from the neighborhood that left and made it big, and he was like, yeah, they never come back. So I'm like, really? Nobody comes, like, they don't come check for you guys and come give you guys a talk and thing and see where you guys are at and if you need any help with anything. And he was like, nope, you're the only one. So I'm like, so it just touched me, and I'm like, all right. At the time I was doing my Walk This Way workshops, modeling classes, training. So I was strictly training models, aspiring and established models. And my giving back was more so going back to my, certain neighborhoods, like I said, and speaking to the youths. Like, that was my way of giving back. And when this little boy said what he said to me, something again clicked, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm like, okay, yes, I feel that I'm supposed to be giving back, my expertise, within my career. I do feel that. But there's something deeper than that, right? So I created the walk. And the walk is where I give up to 30 girls a free 2-week day camp where they get to learn from mentors, such as myself and other mentors in different fields. I get goosebumps whenever I speak about it.
Yeah, it's your
and
baby.
Different, yes.
It is. It's her baby, guys. It's simply amazing.
And
it's okay. We cry here. We cry here on Chasing Purpose. It's fine.
Because I'm a crier.
Everybody know so as am I. I'm a crier. Go
yes,
ahead, girl.
you are. I know you are.
And yes, bring the Kleenex. You're in the safe space here.
I give them like this camp where they get to meet with different mentors, and I reached out to my colleagues, people that I've worked with, people that I've never met before but I've always wanted to meet and work with. Thank you. And I reach out to them, and I said to them, okay, I know say when I'm a big celebrity, I don't cost one bag of money. Or well, I mean, when I'm in foreign, I talk a totally different ballgame. I'm like, I know that you're a celebrity. And, I know you expect an appearance fee and all for every time you make an appearance. But I would really like for you to make an appearance, even if it's just for 1 hour of your time, to meet with some girls that we're mentoring. And, just telling them your story and telling them, what it took for you to get to where you're at, your obstacles, your challenges, how you overcome your obstacles and your challenges, of what it took for you to get to where you're at today in life. And I also want you to teach them or show them how to get in your industry.
Wow.
So I will call people that may never know for the life of me.
Yes.
People I see on television.
Yeah,
people that I knew, people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it in my country first, in Jamaica first, but it didn't work out that way. I was having a pretty rough time to get it here, get it started here. So I started it off in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
And the amount of people and support that I got and that we got for the camp,
awesome.
It was just amazing. And I've been doing it 7 years in Canada, and I'm like even more and more and more excited because I finally got to be able to do it here in my country, here where I was born and raised, here where it all began.
Yes. Which is so important.
Which is really important.
So important. No,
which is really important for me because
exactly, Stacey. This is
where
a big
I come
deal.
from.
Yes. And you can see that you absolutely love where you come from, and that you wanted to pour into these girls and to plant the seed. And let me tell you guys,
that they need it here.
Yeah,
we really, our children, our youths need it.
They need it.
Especially here in our little little but big Jamaica.
Yeah, little but Talawa. So our kids need it. Yeah.
Thankful and grateful and just thankful that I'm blessed to be able to have it here. And it's been 3 years now here, and you were one of our mentors, which I thank you so much. You're amazing. You were awesome with it.
I tell you, guys, this it was Stacey. You're about to make me cry, but it was amazing. It is amazing. I'm telling you, please, Stacey does this every year. You said every year, third year, right? Jamaica, so we're now in the planning stages of next year. This is something that I'm gonna talk to Stacey off air, but I'd love to do this maybe as an after school program or something. We will be appealing to the masses, so please look out for them cold calls, because we are gonna be cold calling. Stacey, do you have an?
Sorry, would I be able to say some thank yous to
please,
people?
Yes, quickly.
Because if it wasn't for a lot of people, that
belonging in that community.
Yes, that helped make the camp happen for the girls as well. People like yourself, Cinta, people like Judith Bodley,
yes, Miss Bodley.
People like Tina Matalon.
Yes.
People like Donna Troy. in Canada. People like just so many people, so many.
We thank those persons.
Orville.
Yes.
Nikki Z.
Mr. Burrell,
Nikki Z didn't waste no time.
Who is
She was
coming up soon on at 2 o'clock.
Nikki Z, and she really, like went out. All these people that I'm mentioning, and the ones that I'm not mentioning as well. You all know who you are. Like, from my hubby Kamar, like who was always there, for the girls as well, for us to make it happen. Like even when there was like madness to get there and
what
pick up things.
What about your second auntie? What
auntie? I'm about to say Rachel, Shelly Ann, right? There's so many of them that help make it happen.
Such an amazing program. The walk is called,
the
right?
walk camp.
The walk camp. Please, mummies, daddies, get your girls signed up. They are going to be poured into and nurtured in a way that you really want,
in a very positive
in a way that we need. Jamaica needs it. The world needs this. The world needs your light, Stacey. So thank you for shining your light. Thank you for being who you are. I feel like I'm feeling your energy. It's a positive one.
Thank you too, Cynthia Shea. Like, sort of cut you, but what you're doing as well too, like, creating Chasing Purpose. I've been watching your stories.
All choked up.
I've been watching, like your interviews and stories of like, how you're bringing, these stories to light for people to help them along their journey. You're really doing amazing and an awesome job, and know that as well too.
Thank you.
Right? The Most High God put you here for a reason. The Most High God put each and every one of us here for a reason.
Absolutely.
He's given us blessings for a reason, and it's not for us to keep for self. Yeah. And I'm so happy and thankful that He's made me see that's in my purpose here. Yes. And and my belonging here is not for self.
Yeah, no.
It's not for self. It's for me to take. It's for us to take those journeys, those obstacles, those challenges
together. Yes, that's right. Drop that gem, because beer gems I drop. I'm about to wash my. We're both about to run our makeup. But Stacey, thank you.
You're welcome.
You will hear more about the Walk Summer Program.
Yes.
Hopefully, it's something that we can take to after school during the summer, during the school year.
Yes.
But that's in time. We'll talk about that. So Stacey, thank you.
And thank you so much. You're welcome. My pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
Big up and blessed of Chasing Purpose. Cynthia Shea.
Thank you.
The whole family. Thank you all.